Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome back to the Cloud Demo Dive. So far in this AWS Skill Builder series, we have focused on virtual servers, fixed infrastructure. But today we are going to dive into a whole new world that is serverless computing with AWS Lambda. So in this video, we are going to introduction. We will introduce the AWS Lambda, and we will do some hands-on on it. So what is Lambda? So simply put, it's a compute service that lets you run our code without provisioning or managing any servers. You just upload the code and the Lambda handles everything required to run or scale it with high availability. You only pay for the compute time or the consume, like whatever time the code runs. For that time, you have to pay the server cost on which you are running the code. So it's kind of serverless computing we are using to run our code. So this is a massive shift. Instead of worrying about the server maintenance, operating system, and capacity planning, we can focus entirely on writing our code and building our application logic. So this is the serverless part of AWS, and behind the scene, with where our code runs, AWS managed all the things for us. So this is the heart of the serverless revolution. After AWS launches the AWS Lambda for us to use. So let's talk about the key concept of Lambda. When we work with Lambda, there are three main components to understand. First is the Lambda function itself. Then it's this is the code which we write. That is the Lambda function. Second is the event source, like how we want to trigger that code, which is what trigger your function. Like if we want to manual trigger or we want to add a some kind of event bridge or a scheduler so that it will run our code again and again what whenever we need on timely basis. So the event source, second one is the event source. A very common event source is file being uploaded to an S3 bucket, which is what we will be using today. So in today's hands-on we will see that how we are going to use that event source when we upload any file in the S3 bucket. And the third one is the monitoring. With Lambda, you don't have to SSS into the server to see what's happening. All the functions, activity, and the logs are automatically sent to the CloudWatch, which is monitoring, which is a monitoring service, Amazon CloudWatch, that gives us the complete picture of the function performance. So, what's today goal? So let's talk about that. So in today's lab we are going to put all these concepts which we discussed into practice and do some hands-on around it. We will create a very simple Lambda function, then we will configure it to automatically run every time a file is uploaded into the S3 bucket, and we will verify that it is working by checking the logs in the CloudWatch as well. So this is the current flow which we are going to do today in this hands-on video of the AWS Skill Builder series. So let's get started and do some hands-on on AWS Lambda. So yeah, log into your AWS Skill Builder portal, and here we have this series, AWS Skill Builder series. Open this up. In this we have total 10 hands-on lab, and in earlier videos we already completed 5. So this is the sixth one in which we are talking about the AWS Lambda one. You can see VPC is complete, EC2 is complete, and S3 IAM and the KMS is completed. So in this video we are going to see the introduction to AWS Lambda. Just click on go to training and just start the training from here. So behind the scene it will create a document. So they provide us a full hands-on document through which you can, if you just follow those documents line by line, then you will be able to do that hands-on with your own as well. If required, just click on create or sign in. So yeah, that the AWS team, certification team, will created this document so that the beginner, which are those who are beginner in AWS, they will get full hands-on exercises without without being like, if they don't have any console access, or they didn't have to figure it out like how to create some account and all these things, because they will provide the lab access also. So yeah, we are on to the landing page of the document. Here you can see It's kind of total 45 minutes of lab. All the details are in this document. We will go through one by one in this one, and there are 4 tasks in it: to create S3 bucket, AWS Lambda function, and then testing the function, and then monitoring and logging of that function. So let's get started and start the lab by accepting the terms and condition. Sometime it will take some few minutes, or sometimes it will take start immediately. So yeah, it's started. Open this console. So in AWS account is created for us by AWS training and certification team as a AWS lab user. You can see AWS lab user, it created an AWS account. So let's get going and do our first task on this. You can see all the environment things are already provided. So in this one we have this demonstrate AWS Lambda by creating a serverless image thumbnail application. So in this one we are creating a image thumbnail application, and this is the application flow which we are going to create in this one. First a user uploads the image into the source bucket, then that source bucket creates an event, and Amazon S3 detects that object create event, and then that publishes the object create event to the Lambda by invoking the Lambda function, and then passing it to the event as a function parameter. Like this file will go as a parameter, and then the Lambda execute the Lambda function. From the event data it receives, the Lambda function knows that the source bucket name and the object key name. From here it will get, and then the Lambda function read the object and create a thumbnail using that, using graphics library, and then save the thumbnail to the target bucket. And this is the target bucket. After creating it, it saves into that one. So upon completing this tutorial, we will having the following resources in our account. One is the account owner, admin privilege with some user, execution role for IAM, and the admin have all the accesses. So yeah, in this one, it is the high level diagram of following resources which we are going to use in this one. So let's first start with the first by creating an Amazon S3 bucket. Just go to this S3 S3 console, and just click on create bucket and enter a bucket with the starting image and some random number. I will pick the account ID as the random number here. So I'm pasting it here, and in random number I'm just putting the account ID. Just paste it, and then I have to do nothing. I'm just keep everything default and choose to create bucket. Yeah, I'm just keeping it as everything is as is and just creating that. Next we have to create another bucket for the output one. So this is our input bucket, which we can say, and we have the output bucket, that is the target bucket. You can see source bucket we created, and now we are creating the target bucket. So let me just create another bucket with the same name. uh, Let me just put that random number is this one, and at last we will add the resized one. Yeah, so I will paste that, and we will create that also. So this is our target bucket. So we created 2 buckets right here, one for the source, one for the target. And on we have one, you should download have you should now we have these 2 buckets ready with us. And here is a file, happyface.jpg. We have to download it. Just right click on it and click on save as link, save link as, and it will says that save as jpeg format. If you open it, you can see that this is the file we downloaded, happyface.jpg. This is the file. So yeah, open this into the computer. It is a large picture of dimension. This one you can see, as if you open this one, you will be able to see that it's a large picture of dimension 20 1280 into 553. In this AWS console, choose the link. first bucket you created and upload. So in the source bucket which we created, we have to upload this file. Just go here, upload it, add files, and happy face uploading. So yeah, we have to upload this into the source bucket. This is our source bucket we are treating it as. So that is the first task. We have to create the s3 buckets and then upload the image into that. Now the second task is to create the lambda function, which will using the which we in which we add the triggers and all the code we are doing. So just search the lambda in the lambda here, just pasting here, just click on it, create function, and select the author from scratch and enter the function name as create thumbnail. So I'm just creating this create function, author from scratch. You can also use a blueprint or the container image as also. Because we are using the code, so I'm authoring it from the scratch. For the function name, I'm just pasting in the create thumbnail, and runtime for I'm choosing it as 3.9. Next, expand the change default execution rule. So we have to attach some IAM role here. So it by default it will create a new role and basic lambda permission were added to this. So we have to choose an existing role. So a role is already created into this account. So as we earlier see right up here, and role is already created for this access policies and all. So we have to put that. So that is the lambda execution role. Use an existing role and you will be able to see that lambda execution role. Yeah, select that one. After selecting, expand the additional configuration section, and here you will have some networking function URL if you want to enable, or VPC, something that. So choose the VPC, and for VPC select the VPC and CIDR range for that. So let me just copy that, and for VPC I'm just enabling it. Choose the which one, for choose VPC. For VPC select the VPC with CIDR range, this one. So this is the one with CIDR, this one. So I'm choosing this one. Again the subnet, I am choosing this subnet only. I'm choosing this subnet. For security group, select the security group, that is lambda security group. So we have one security group, that is lambda security group inside it. So this is the one. Yeah, we added that security group as well. And after setting all these things, just click on uh, create the function. Yeah. So we created our lambda function. If prompted something like this, like sometimes some pop-up will appear. First time if you create the lambda function, they will suggest to guide you something like get started pop-up. Just click on dismiss. If you don't get that, just leave as is. So it will creating the lambda function create thumbnail for us by using the configuration which we set. After creation, a page will be displayed for your function configuration, creating a VPC attached. So that's why taking it time, because the VPC is also attaching to it. In the top banner in the appears, successfully created the function create thumbnail to proceed. So right now it's not there. So you can see this getting started button. You can just click on dismiss. Right now it's in creating state only until it gets green tick, or our lambda function is created. Wait till the time. So AWS Lambda function can be triggered automatically by activities such as data being received by Amazon Kinesis, DynamoDB, or any kind of triggers. You trigger the Lambda function using the S3 bucket as well. So we have to add some triggers here. So let's wait for a few more minutes to get this Lambda function created. Then we will add some trigger, and we will add the S3 trigger here. And we will add the S3 trigger. We will specify the bucket and the source bucket which we created. For the event type, we will select all object create events. So whenever any object will create, it will trigger the Lambda function. And for recursive invocation, select the checkbox I acknowledge. Like, yeah, whenever any object is created, we will invoke that Lambda function, and click on add. So it is taking time to creating this Lambda function. So till the time, we will go through this document. After setting the trigger, just go to the code tab, and we have to um, upload from the S3 location. So we have the code in our Amazon S3 location. So you can code it using your own, like you can code it in this console, like which they provided. It's kind of VS code, like terminal you can use for coding, or they provided the code in the S3 link URL. So this is the S3 link. You can see, you have to just copy this and paste it into the Amazon S3 location. So yeah, and click on save. Then this will extract that code from here and put it into the code base of the Lambda function. So now you can see, successfully created this function, and you can now change its code to configuration, and to invoke the function event choose test. So yeah, we are done. So let's add the trigger first. Triggering with the S3, and then choosing the bucket, that is this one, source bucket. For event type, we are saying all object create events, acknowledging, and then adding it. After adding the trigger, we are going to the code section, and we will upload from Amazon S3 location, and we will just upload this Amazon S3 location here, pasting, and save. So by default, it will extract the zip file and upload that code here for us. You can see, you will be able to see the all the files in that zip file, right? So after that upload, so this is the optional step, examine the above code. It performs the following step. So you can just see, similar to this, we have this code base also ready. So you have this 6.py, something like that. It created a code for us. So examine the above code. It's performing the following step: receive an event, download the keys from the local, resize the image and with pillow library, and upload the resize image to the new bucket, basically. So you can see, once you will extract, you just check it here. We have different library here, like pil, pillows, create thumbnail.py. This is the code. If you just go here, it first calls the handler, first get the record bucket path, and then it uploads path is this one with the resized one, and in between it will do the all these things, like resize the image. So you can see, it will resizing this image after using the download path and uploading it into the upload path. So yeah, that's the thing it is doing. In the runtime section, go to the runtime section here, in the configuration one. In the runtime section, choose edit. Where to see the runtime? Okay, yeah, scroll a little bit downward in the code section only. You can see in the runtime settings, edit this part. We have to add a handler. We don't have the Lambda handler right now, because in the code we have def handler, you can see. So you have to just replace the existing text with this one, create thumbnail dot handler, because we don't have this name. We have this Lambda function, not we have this function name with this one. Just pasting it with this create thumbnail dot handler, and clicking on save it. After saving that value, choose the go to the configuration tab, because you can see this is the create thumbnail file, and inside that create thumbnail.py we have the handler function which is running. Next we go to the configuration section and choose the general configuration and choose edit. Here we have to increase the timeout or add any description if you want. So I'm just adding this description to it. Create a thumbnail for the sized image. Then we, if you like memory want to increase, then you can increase the memory as well, and timeouts maximum duration is achieved. So something like that you can set it here. So for now I think 3 seconds is enough. So you can maximum the timeout is 15 minutes for this. If you go for 16 it will shows the error, because this the maximum is this one only. I'm just going at this one only 3 seconds and just clicking on save. So the second task is also completed. We created the AWS Lambda function. Now it's time to test that function. So after creating that, just go to the test tab. We have to create a new event and set it at a event name as upload. So we set this event name as upload. For template optional, select S3 put. If we have a template or not, like let me just check. It's kind of optional for template. So yeah, okay, yeah, here is the optional. So let me just S3 put, yeah, S3 put. It's, we are going to do that, and a sample template is displayed that shows that the event data from the Lambda functionality is triggered by uploading in Amazon S3. You need now, in this we have to edit the bucket name so that it uses the bucket you created earlier. So in this we have to replace the example bucket in the event JSON section with the name. So we have to put that name here, event bucket. So this is the example bucket right up here, so we can use that. I think, what's the thing, replace the example bucket text with the name this one. So yeah, replace that example bucket, I think this is the ARN, yeah, with the this one which we created earlier. So I think that's the bucket here. In random ID we have that number, account ID, and then in the key we have to put the happy faces, because that's the file name we are using. So replace this key name with this one, just pasting it out, and after that click on just test, just choose test. So it will start executing the function. You can click on details to check. So you can see its timeout occurred, sandbox timeout for 3 milliseconds. You can see execution time, resource configuration, logs output. So let me just increase the time as well. So go to the configuration one and just increase it to 1 minute. Click on save, then test it. And again, like before saving it to the, okay, so again I have to choose the template here, that is the S3 put. And again I have to replace those values, that is the example bucket, and the random number is this one. And inside this we have to set the key as happy faces. Okay, no, not this one, this one, yeah. And after this You can save this test event and just so that this will not missed, and just test it. So it will again start executing the function right away. You can see it starts executing the function. So after that execution is done, you can just click on details and you will be showing with these details like execution time, resource configured, memory maximum used, and log output. So it says execution is failed. So it says sandbox timeout after 20 second. Why is it so? I don't understand. Okay, so I have to edit this. Okay, okay. Edit the save event. Yeah, so I have to copy this bucket name from here and also paste it here. Yeah, and in the key, I think that's the only place. Correct. I'm saving it again, just testing it again once again. Yeah, so this time you can see it's successfully done. We have these things popped up, like all this information which are mentioned here. So now just go to the S3 section and you will be able to see that we have one more S3 file in the resized S3 bucket with which is created using the Lambda function. Or if you just go to the resized one, here we will have one happy face.jpg that is created. I'm just opening that one. Just select this one and open. It will say to save. I'm just opening it. So you can see it compresses the image in this pixels 128 to 85, and it basically resized this image. Depending on the browser and settings, it might like download it, and like I am able to download it, but yeah, you can see in different manner also. So yeah, in this manner we will, like, we tested our Lambda function, it is working fine. Let's go and take a look on the monitoring and logging this Lambda function. So just go to the monitor tab here. In the section you will be able to see, in the monitor section we will have some different metrics, like CloudWatch metrics is also there, like invocations, how many invocations are being made, then duration in milliseconds, error count and success rate, throttles, total current executions, and all in the graphical structure as well. And if you want to go into that CloudWatch logs, just click on view CloudWatch logs. You will be having the logs of those, like whatever we are running into the code, those logs are going to be captured in this one. If you just click on that view CloudWatch logs, it will create a log group with this name. And for the recent one, I'm going for this one. So you can see it starts it at this time, and it created resized image, and then it's stores into this one. So yeah, in this manner it will created. So you can check your codes. If some error will come, you will be able to debug from here as well, using the CloudWatch logs. So yeah, AWS, that's how AWS Lambda will work. And in this way it will helps us to just code and run our code without worrying about the infrastructure or the, like, servers, how many servers we want. Just increase the memory if you want, and it helps us a lot, like, for different use cases. So that's it for this hands-on video. Now let's go to the knowledge check and launch this assessment. So complete it. So you have to complete this assessment to make it mark is done, because here you can see result is 0 out of 1. So we have to complete this assessment. So just opening it. Yeah, click on begin the test. We have five number of questions. Let's just try to complete it. Which of the following key component when creating an AWS Lambda function? Key component when creating an AWS Lambda function. Instance type, VPC configuration, EVS function blueprint. This is the function blueprint we need if you want to create a AWS Lambda function. It's not needed, but yeah, that's the key component, I think. Correct. What's the memory settings defined when configuring an AWS Lambda function? The amount of disk space allowed to the function, maximum number of concurrent execution, number of size of function deployment package, the amount of disk space allocated to the function. Yeah, maximum execution time, that is 15 minutes. AWS services is primarily used for monitor Lambda function triggered by AWS S3 events. So that is the CloudWatch, because there the log groups are generated. What is the most efficient way to trigger a Lambda function with multiple S3 buckets? Create a event notification for each bucket. Use S3 replication bucket policy to invoke Lambda. Just try this. I think two are wrong. Let me just check that. Most efficient way to trigger a Lambda is to configure event notification for each bucket. Okay, to the same Lambda. Again, what is the memory settings? So the amount of RAM allocated to that function. Okay, so yeah, let's just try it out again. We have this option of retake right up here. Just click on that and just retake the test. You will be able to again reattempt those questions. Wow, this is the S3 events on CloudWatch function blueprint. Most efficient way to trigger a Lambda function is multiple S3 bucket, each bucket to the same Lambda function, right? Next one is 15 minutes because that's the maximum execution time. And what does the memory setting defines when configuring an AWS Lambda function? So that's the RAM, the amount of RAM located into the function. So let's just choose that one and click on finish assessment. Now this time we are getting all the correct answers. So just go to the page. You can see result one on one and click on submit results. So yeah, in this way we are completing the introduction to AWS Lambda part as well in the AWS Skill Builder series. After doing this, just go and sign out from this lab and end this lab as complete lab. Mark it as complete. So that's it for this whole hands-on on AWS to introduction to AWS Lambda. After you complete, you will be able to see that this is completed. You can just rate it and view next to get the certification. If you are not able to view, just refresh this page. You will be able to get that. Let me just show that to you. So you can see here the feedback is there. So I'm just rating it, and you can see view and download. So yeah, we are completed this training introduction to AWS Lambda. You can just download that achievement and show it to and share it on LinkedIn and other platforms as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to see the introduction to AWS Amazon DynamoDB. So till then, thank you. Bye.